If I offered to extend your life by 10 years, would you take that offer? Not sure? You want to lick the gift horse in the mouth? Wise choice. I've got a better offer for you. Hi, I'm Kevin Mepham, and this is Thrivespan, building a life that thrives in every way, now and as you age. So, that gift is lifespan. And you can already get that gift. It's what modern medicine is good at. Keeping you alive, though not necessarily healthy, is what modern medicine focuses on. Now, if you have seen what that actually looks like in practice with someone in the later years of life, you are quite right to question whether you would want to take that gift. I know. I watched my mom's last 10 years in mental decline, to dementia, to memory care facility, to being just a shell, a physical shell of who she once was. And I watched it with my dad in his last 10 years, becoming physically more and more frail, till it was just a cycle of fall over, go to hospital, go to a nursing home for rehab, come home, fall over, repeat, to the point where, and I'm sorry, this is going to get dark, to the point where he was praying to God to take him home. And those of us who have seen that know that that is not what we want for ourselves. But let's draw a little curve on the invisible blackboard here to explain the concept we're talking about. So if I have time, years of life along this axis here, and I have health up here, we start out, let's say we start out completely healthy, and the typical life curve, as this would be called, is we start out healthy, and maybe sometime in our 40s, if not before, we start to gradually decline, and we decline and we decline. And at some point, we get down to maybe 25% of our health, and modern medicine kicks in, and it keeps us alive for a very long time at that sub 25% level, maybe the last decade of life, what's called the marginal decade. And I don't know about you, but I don't want that. So, but that's what modern medicine is capable of delivering, and very well, and thank God for that, because at least it gives us the opportunity to take the next step, which is, well, what if we didn't have to have that decline? What if we could start out healthy and stay healthy, peak of health, peak health, peak health, peak health, peak health, and then just drop off a cliff and die? That's called squaring the life curve. And I think, wouldn't we all like to go like that? Well, that's not for medicine to give us. That is a lifestyle. To get to stay healthy is on us and on the lifestyle that we choose to lead. And that means that we need to exercise, we need nutrition, the right nutrition, sleep, we need relationships, which have been proven to be one of the greatest factors in a long and happy life. We need a purpose to keep us alive. We need our finances to pay for it all. And most of all, we need mindset. We need the right mindset that will allow us to roll through these changes, to keep leaning forward, to keep doing the work to get better, to not be rattled by what life throws at us and by what age in particular throws at us, and to be happy and content throughout. Whew, that's a lot. And you may listen to me rattling that off, what it takes to get to Healthspan, and say, well, not too sure about that either. Because if getting an extra 10 healthy years in the future, say from 80 to 90, means that I have to take the next 30 to 40 years leading up to that and, eat kale salads and meditate and go to the gym and run and put myself out socially, and I'm an introvert, and go out and find some meaning or purpose beyond myself, and journal, and all this stuff. I'm not doing it right now. There's so much I'd have to sacrifice in order to fit all this stuff in, and then my life would be boring. And why would I sacrifice 30 or 40 years of my life and make it boring, and sacrifice all the fun and the enjoyment and the joy of life in order to add another 10 healthy but boring years to the end of it? Right? Why would I want to do that? Well, from what you've heard me describe about my parents, I saw that I had a real mortality crisis. And I was motivated to make those sacrifices in order to avoid in order to reduce the odds of ending up like my parents did. So I did the things. I gave up my video games, my late night video games, for sleep so I could wake up early in the morning and exercise. I gave up a lot of sugary sweets that I love, and sodas and juices, and it's been so long now I can't even remember what I don't remember how I used to eat. And I put myself out there socially, even though I was an introvert, and in entirely new situations, and being a beginner at things I was not comfortable with. I worked on my relationship skills. I meditated. I journaled. I did all these things so that I would have the mental and physical acuity, I would hope, at least have a better chance of it, 30 years hence. And a funny thing happened along the way. My life in the short term got an order of magnitude better, 10 times better. Even though I had given things up and I missed them, and even though I was doing tough things, even though I was challenging myself, consistently getting outside of my comfort zone in order to do all these right things, my life got so much better. And I realized that, yes, you do have to sacrifice things in order to change over to the things that will give you a long, healthy life in going into the future. But while it's a sacrifice, it's not really a sacrifice. It's a trade-off. I am trading off some things, and I think I'm trading them off for a better life in the future. But what I'm trading them off for is a better life in the near future, in the next month, in the next week, the next month. I mean, 1 week of better sleep is fabulous. 6 months of, in my first year of changing my nutrition, I dropped 30 pounds in a way in a lifestyle change way. In other words, it was not a temporary diet. It was something that I found was easy to do, that didn't take a lot of willpower. I just cut a few things out, and I felt better. I looked better. I moved better with less weight. As I started to build strength and endurance, I felt better moving through the day. I had more confidence. As I forced myself into social situations and started to get more comfortable with those, I found I started to enjoy them, and maybe I was able to actually change my introversion. Because of the improved sleep and because of the meditation and the mindset changes I was making to change the way that I went through the world and saw everything around me and interpreted it, I was less angry. I used to be an angry guy. And it wasn't a trade-off at all. And this is what I call Thrivespan. And it's the idea that in trying to build a life that thrives as you age, you actually build a life that thrives in the present. Comes with trade-offs, but they're trade-offs. You're trading off something that's nice for something that will ultimately be, a week, 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line. Wonderful, a wonderful permanent improvement to your life. That is Thrivespan. That has been my journey for the past 16 years now. And it's my journey going forward. Not lifespan, not healthspan, Thrivespan. That is what this channel is about. We're going to share I'm going to share what I've learned and what I continue to learn, because every day I'm pushing myself a little farther. I'm learning more. I'm hitting new challenges. I'm learning how to deal with them. And hopefully we'll build a community and you'll be able to share what you're going through and what you've learned through your unique experience and your unique journey. And we'll go through our journeys together. And we will go into increased age and old age and next year together and make them better. Now, before I wrap up, the one thing that I do want to make a regular practice on these videos is a call to action, because all of this is predicated on us taking action. It is the number one superpower for building a better life, is a bias toward action, not just watching a video for entertainment, not just thinking about it, not just talking about it, but taking action, failing, learning from those failures, taking a better action the next time, and growing from that. This is how we build a thriving life. So admittedly, the first action is going to be a thought experiment. And it is, what trade-off have you been unwilling to make? What is the thing that if you gave it up, if you traded it for something else, you would have a better life, but you have been unwilling to give that thing up? Just asking you to think about that and put it in the comments, and let's have a discussion. Let's see what it is that we know we need to improve that we're holding back on, and maybe we can find a way to break through those barriers and move on toward Thrivespan. Okay, thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon.